Welcome back, guys, to Trails to Azure, where last episode, instead of finding Raymond, we found Vice Commissioner Pierre worrying away as we learned his wife had been seeing a host and was possibly leaving him, with Wazi and us in the know as to what she was really up to. After doing some covert investigation, we brought Pierre to Newblog to find out what was really going on, leading to a scene that somehow saved his marriage as we completed Pierre's marital peril. The patrol now continues. I guess we'll continue on our patrol for a bit then, because we actually did get a quest when I went over there. It just wasn't the one I expected to get, do you know what I mean? I'll buy another one of these. Equip that to Randy. And the combat suit. Hand-me-downs. Hand-me-downs are happening. Slender heels are the nearest I can get in terms of upgrades for the ladies. I'll buy a pair. It's unfortunate that it's special boots for the ladies and special armor for the guys, when the special armor for the guys is kind of ridiculous compared to everything else that's going on there, do you know what I mean? I'd rather have the extra speed on you. Speed good. Speed good. Right, let's continue our patrol in Crossbell City then, to separate our questings with the entertainment district. We've only got a couple of places to go to after all. Man, Arc En Ciel's got themselves another star in the making. They're priming up that Sully Guild to be a new princess in their play, from what I hear. It hasn't even been a year since they found Risha. Some people have all the luck, huh? Man, I wish our club was half as good at scouting hostesses as Arc En Ciel is at scouting dancers. Come on, Ilya, you've got Sully, so let's have Risha. Out of my way, world, I've got me a hankering for some gambling today. The only problem is my wallet's looking pretty dry. I can always ask my folks for a little spending cash. They won't know what it's for. Well, hello there, Wazi. Thank you for showing me such a good time the other day. Our hour together felt like an absolute dream. Same to you, madame. I'm glad I could be of service. Putting aside the moral grey area, how does Wazi find time to host in between all of our other duties? I'll be seeing you again soon, Wazi. What'd they get up to? Hey there, wanna play? You know, I'm not always rocking this cute bunny look, in case you're wondering. But if my boyfriend asks nicely enough, I'd definitely break it out just for him. Oh, here's where those guys are. Independence to be or not to be? That's no easy question to answer. Mayor Croix has raised the stakes on us considerably. Hey, don't push your luck, Yuri. You might get thrown out if you win too much. He's taking the blue pills. Damn, that's one classy Moa sitting over there. Sucks that she turned us down, but I guess we can't all have good taste. The hell? Everyone's making a huge fuss over this independence garbage. What a bunch of morons. You Crossbellers should just keep your mouth shut and obey the Republic like the dogs you are. If you value your peaceful lives, that is. Whether this puny state becomes independent is no concern of mine. In the meantime, we'll just keep on draining the city of all the fun it's worth. We should stop doing the evil The three gentlemen to my right have been rude and obnoxious to our other guests since the moment they arrived. Don't they have any common decency? If this continues, I'll have to straighten them out with a stern warning myself. We may be a casino, but there are still rules and courtesies our guests are expected to abide by. I have no interest in overgrown children still nursing off their parents' mirror and status. Suave, refined men like Mr. Drake are much more up my alley. It doesn't matter how much mirror you have, you couldn't pay me to humor some pretentious layabout. Like Randy too, right? Those three over there look like they have mirror to spare, but I don't like their vibes one bit. They got all hoity-toity and asked if I wanted to play with them. Like, no thank you? Like, no thanks. That's new. Is that new too? I didn't get a Michette ribbon after all. I got a Michette keychain. Michette's yellow ribbon EQ found me. 30% drop rate up. Speed plus 10. Jukebox it is then. I'd remember if we got a jukebox. It's pretty big. I, for one, am 100% behind Crossbell's bid for independence. It's downright unbelievable that we have to give Erebonia and Calvert a portion of our tax revenue. Our independence is an undeniable right, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Several of our guests appear to be causing quite the commotion downstairs. I may have to ask them to leave if they refuse to settle down. Sure thing. The ribbon was buyable in Michelin, but I guess you didn't get it there? Oh. I don't think so much about possibly missable accessories from buying from shops, weirdly. Hey there, craving some ice cream today? Well, that's actually what we came to ask about. You see, we're with the special support section. The SSS explained their mission to gather gourmet recommendations. So you guys are the ones on the job, eh? The CNS already told me a bit about it. I've been ready for this, so without further ado, allow me to recommend my one and only Septicolor Sherbet. Oh, now that sounds good. It's my newest creation, a frozen blend of several delectable flavors all at once. I've even added bits and pieces of candy that burst in your mouth. The texture is an experience you'll never forget. I see. We'd love to try. Lloyd and the team ate the Septicolored Sherbet. Oh, it's cool and delicious. The presentation is cute too, and I see what you mean about the texture. The candy just explodes on my tongue. Looks like as a hit with the ladies of the SSS. You sure about that? Teotor looks like she got hit with a bad case of brain freeze. No, not quite. I was simply too shocked for words. The thrill of the popping candy, the creamy, refreshing coolness, and the perfect balance of flavors harmonizing on your palate like an optimized quartz loadout. This is it! The beginning of the sherbet revolution! My apologies. Perhaps I went a bit overboard. Safe to say this is one of Tio's new favorites. So you think you could write about it for the Gourmet Guide? Yes, I would give it a sterling 5 out of 5 recommendation. I'm glad you liked it so much. You sure to come back sometime? I have plenty more where that came from. Collected information from 6 eateries. Well, we could go to report to Grace now if we wanted to. Then again, we haven't found everyone's favorite dish yet. There might be more spots to try. Okay, so it's literally telling you you need to make sure that you have everyone have a response where they literally want to be given an interview. And I think, or they want to do the write-up themselves. I think we've only got 3 people from 6 dishes that are like that. It's Randy with the noodles, Noelle with the rice, and Tio with this ice cream. I think that's the 3 that we've got so far. I'm glad you liked our Septicolour Sherbet so much. Be sure to come back sometime. I have plenty more where that came from. Three days. Just 3 more days. The Revival performance debut is so close you can taste it. I can't wait any longer. Lady Ilya, Risha, and Sully will be starring alongside each other as the Rival's 3 celestial princesses. I even managed to nab me a ticket this time. I've never been more excited. When's the banner with Sully going up? Opening night is quickly approaching. I can feel the excitement growing among the troop and staff, myself included, naturally. We're allowed to explore. Sully doesn't look so good. I think she's got some major jitters over her performance. It wouldn't surprise me. This is her debut. Still, this is a challenge she has to overcome on her own. We ought to just keep quiet and watch over. Yeah, you're right. Sully's having a difficult time ahead of her debut. What Theodore said is right. We have to trust her to figure things out on her own. There's nothing you can do to help someone who hasn't noticed their own problems. Ilya probably understands that the most, as much as she wants to jump in. Nikolai scored such a big important role while I'm here lagging behind. What are you complaining about, Celine? You'll have plenty more appearances this time than before, won't you? Maybe, but compared to the others, no one is comparing you to anybody. Don't you realize that? This troop only has one Celine, and that's you, sweetie. Now come on, put a smile on for me, will you? All that scowling is going to ruin your makeup. Celine always has been a worrier. I understand how she feels, but I hope she can learn to move past it. Of course I'm the only Celine here, but is that enough? Oh, where's Corellia when you need her? Beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Hey, Eugene, can I ask you a favor? What is it, Plie? My sash has loosened up a tiny bit. I can't tie by myself, so be a doll and help me out, will you? You can't be serious. It's only Plie. Why must I be so nervous? Though I fear one mistake will send me off to the gallows. Eugene's a little more innocent than I gave him credit for. Seeing him so flustered is making me feel a little embarrassed. Said that we had the studio build for our revival production will finally be ready tomorrow. We threw in some pretty insane design specifications this time around. No matter how impossible it seems on paper, Meister Georg always pulls through for us in the end. I'm excited to go pick it up. Look, Risha and Sully are on stage. Is that Sully's Star Princess costume? It's gorgeous. Yeah, but take a closer look at Soldier. She seems a little uncomfortable up there. How was that, Ivan? Perfect, right? Ilya's going to be blown away by my skills. Well, I would give it passing marks, yes. That's all. What about you, Risha? Tell me what you think. I didn't miss a single step, right? If I had to offer a word of advice, Sully, it would be to put a little more emotion into your movements. It's difficult to explain, but it may help to picture yourself the way you want the audience to see you. How I want them to see me? Can't you be more specific? Granny's right, she's struggling. We should probably leave them be. I agree, this would be a bad time to interrupt. Okay, we shouldn't interrupt. Means we don't have to go through to the last one over there. Opening night is quickly approaching. I can feel the excitement growing among the troop and staff, myself included naturally. Indeed. Our revival performance debuts in only 3 days. On a related note, we have a dress rehearsal scheduled for all of tomorrow. Please be aware that only the troop members will be allowed in the theatre during that time. On a related note, we have a dress rehearsal scheduled for all of tomorrow. Okay, you said that. Good for you. So we can't actually talk to them over here. That's all we can do. Where's Ilya then? Ah! We're not allowed up here normally. My frames. What are you doing up here, Ilya? Oh, if it isn't my favorite little guy and his merry band of friends. I'm guessing you're here to give us some encouraging words before the revival debut. Something like that. Were you looking in on how Sully and Risha's rehearsal is going? You know it. You know it. I can get a great view from up here without them noticing. It's good to see they don't need me there to give it their all. They both remind me of myself when I first joined the troupe. I guess even you were a rookie at some point. Kinda hard to imagine though, huh? Feel free to tell us all about it. We've got the time. It's not that I mind, but I wouldn't want to bore you kids to tears. We promise you won't. We'd love to hear your story. I remember all the papers mentioning how high expectations were for your first performance. So you had captivated the city even before debuting. If I may ask, what was it that made you pursue a career on the stage in the first place? Good question. I'd say it all started when I watched Arc En Ciel back in my childhood. Oh, I get it. So you wanted to be just like them. Is that it? No, not exactly. It's true their productions were impressive even then, with their talented cast and elaborate sets. But at the end of every show, I would always feel like something was missing, and I just couldn't accept it. What do you mean? Everyone and their mothers would go on about how amazing Arc En Ciel was. I was afraid there might be something wrong with me to think otherwise. There I was, tiny baby Ilya, thinking, come on, I could do better than that. Can you imagine? A total amateur like me thinking she could outshine Arc En Ciel if she was just given a chance. Wow, so you were just as passionate even when you were little. With an attitude like that, I can already see all the friends you made when you finally landed a spot in the troupe. I won't deny it, I was a talentless, inexperienced amateur dancing on the toes of the real pros. But in my heart, I believed I could be the one to raise the bar. I told myself that if I let my performers do the talking, then eventually I'd earn their respect and win them over. Which made you who you are today. Maybe. You kids know by now that I'm a perfectionist. The catch is I don't believe Arc En Ciel has ever put on a perfect show. That's why I went out and mined 2 diamonds in the rough, Risha and Sully. With the 2 of them at my side, I believe we're oh so close to putting on the ultimate show I've dreamed of. Wow, you, Ilya, you're the most ambitious person I've ever met. They say hard work beats talent every time. But in your case, Ilya, both of them are flying spades. There really is no one like you. Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, please, you don't have to flatter me over a boring story like mine. When you guys finally have a night off, you should come see us put on our revival performance. Risha and Sully are going to set the stage on fire with yours truly. It's going to be our greatest production yet. Of course, count us in. We look forward to seeing you put on the show of your dreams, Ilya. It's been so long since I reminisced about my early days in the troupe. But enough about that. You should come and see us put on our revival performance when you guys finally have a night off. It's going to be our greatest production yet. So we are allowed in here despite the fact there shouldn't be anyone in here. Not often we're allowed up, but as soon as we saw there was no Ilya, and of course we couldn't get in her flat, I'm pretty sure I went to try to get in her flat. I'm pretty sure. She had to be around somewhere else, right? There's only 2 places we haven't checked out at this point. Well, you know, in Crossbell city limits. We've got Hotel Millennium to go through, and that's the entertainment district, which, because Arc En Ciel was open, took longer than we thought. Should Crossbell become independent? It's a difficult yet crucial question to ask. Only time will tell how the people respond. Many of us yearn for independence, but not all. That difference in opinion cannot be ignored. Having lived through the past several decades, I know well the threat posed by our neighbours to the east and west. However, perhaps now is the time for Crossbell to make a change, much like the way Hotel Millennium has. Having lived through the past several decades, I know well the threat posed by our neighbours to the east and west. Make a change, eh? What? Who's in here? This isn't locked normally. The debut of Arc En Ciel's revival show is coming closer by the day. I didn't manage to get a ticket, but I'm still looking forward to hearing how it turns out. Something's being kept from me, something secret, someone's here, someone's hiding away. I may be Crossbell, but I used to work for a hotel in the Empire. Maybe I should say this out loud, but the downside was having to cater to Erebonian nobles. It got old fast. My career has been a lot less stressful now that I've moved back home. Off we go then. That's Entertainment District. Well, the time is coming up on us doing another quest again, I would say. Oh yeah. Haven't checked if that's an event yet. Also, this is closed today. Weird how that's open some days and closed others. Let's get in the car. Let's go out. We still got sweeps of the outside regions to do too, after all, and there's nothing quest-wise out this way. So let's go to the police academy. Don't want to go out that way. I probably should talk to this guy too. If Crossbell becomes independent, we're likely to see a major overhaul to the criminal justice system, one that's far less forgiving than it is now. I bet that'll do a pretty good job of reducing the number of cases we get of foreigners crossing into our borders to break the law. That's if we become independent, of course. If Crossbell becomes independent, we're likely to see a major overhaul to the criminal justice system, one that's far less forgiving than it is now. Yes, we'll actually be able to prosecute people that do crimes from other nations. A cryptid was spotted in Nox Forest recently. 2 bracers named Lynn and Aeolia went in to exterminate it, but were unable to track it down. That's where the CGF holds their survival training, so we're closing the grounds as a precaution until the situation is under control. So can't the CGF deal with it? They managed to escape the bracers, so we're closing the training grounds and keeping a constant lookout until it shows up again. Can't you go at it with all the army? I guess I really will only get a reward if I do every single one. Even those of us at the academy know that independence would have a major impact on our futures as police officers. If nothing else, a lot of the cadets are rooting for it to happen so that the police force can grow as an organization. Also wondering if I can do any more of the fishing jewels. Where are the two people? There's one at the crossroads. But I think that's the one that needs me to have lots of fish, right? I mean, I can't do this one yet. Yep. Still need more caches for you. The other guy was where? Trying to remember. We got the guy on Mine's Mining Village. We did that one. We got the guy on that pathway. And we done the one that's here at the rest stop. Must be on the way to St. Ursula then. I think I've lost that person entirely, which is the funny thing. Ever since independence was proposed at the trade conference, things have been pretty tense around the border. We shouldn't be surprised, though, after the way Mayor Croix just threw it out there point blank. Oh well, it just means that we have to stay sharp and keep our guards up. Keep your guards up, guys. Like I said at the trade conference, compared to other militaries, the CGF is a half-cocked imitation. The Empire and the Republic are the ones who made it that way to begin with, though. And yet they had the goal to use it as leverage against us. It really grinds my gears. Due to the influence of the Empire and the Republic, the CGF is limited to basic weaponry. It's their fault we're so shackled, but they blame us for being inadequate. It really grinds my gears. Nothing else on the outside. Warrant Officer Muriel got promoted to second lieutenant the other day. Even among countries with more proper militaries, it's still quite a high rank. I don't doubt she'll keep climbing the chain of command either. It's ridiculous that it took this long for her to be promoted, considering all that she's done, but it's still a happy occasion. Knowing the second lieutenant, she's going to keep climbing the chain of command too. Hey Randy, did you get that gift? Oh, that's locked off again, see? An independent Crossbell is just a fool's flight of fancy. Crossbell exists to serve the Empire, and that's exactly how it should stay. I bet you'd think that. The Imperial Army's been conducting drills inside Gorelia Fortress as a show of force. Are they trying to put pressure on the Guardian Force, or no? They, of course, is probably their actual target here. Still, this tension is downright tame compared to how it was before the non-aggression pact was signed. Oh, the tension around here these days is wearing me out. Wait, my Shining Stella is watching me. I've got to stay sharp. Wouldn't want to risk looking sloppy in front of her. I've been dead tired, but I've got to keep my eyes open. Can't risk looking sloppy in front of my Shining Stella. Sloppy. Hey, Randy. And I see you brought the SSS along too. And if I can get you. Hiya, Stella. We're actually here on business, you see. The SSS explained their mission to gather gourmet recommendations. Now you mention it, I think that rings a bell. Here, I'll serve you up some of the bellyful hot pot I usually make for the guardsmen. So the Bellguard unit likes hot pot too. Who knew? My appetite is whetted. Glad to hear it. Sit tight and I'll bring a fresh pot right over. Lloyd and the team ate the bellyful hot pot. Oh my, you can almost feel it warming you up from the inside. It doesn't skimp on the meat to make room for all the vegetables either. You couldn't ask for a more nourishing dish. CGF training can get pretty rigorous. The guardsmen need filling food like this if they want to last. It's no wonder. We often have hot pot parties, but everyone always ends up fighting over who gets the biggest chunks of meat. When Randy was here, he would even sneak bites from other people's plates. Why am I not surprised? Guy's got to take care of himself, you know. Bellyful hot pot I serve to the guardsmen sure is delicious, huh? We often have hot pot parties, but everyone always ends up fighting over who gets the biggest chunks of meat. So I take this isn't one that they want to write home about. No one... It didn't take anyone. They say the mysterious monsters around the state are only growing in number. Things just aren't safe here anymore. I'm going back to Erebonia the second I can. The CGF would be operated like a standard military if Crossbell became independent. They'd be able to upgrade the guardsmen's equipment, not to mention add actual tanks to their arsenal. Oh man, as a military enthusiast, that would be so cool to see. He'd love it. What more could a military enthusiast ask for? I don't think arming your state to the amount it would need to be armed is actually a good thing, to be perfectly honest. Ever since the mayor proposed independence, the Empire and the Republic have been openly pressuring Crossbell. Things are so tense right now that my stomach is in knots. I've hoped things calm down sooner rather than later. Like everyone else, I was shocked by the independence proposal. Still, maybe this is what it would take to properly protect Crossbell. Here's hoping it becomes a reality. No double dialogue giving any goodies. Remember to check walls and places. How's it hanging, Warrant Officer Muriel? Working hard or hardly working? You know very well the answer to that question. Honestly, Randy, I told you just the other day that I was promoted to second lieutenant. Ignore him. Congratulations on your promotion. Thank you, Sergeant Major. It feels nice to be moving up, but it also means I'm going to be saddled with additional responsibilities. I'll just have to buckle down and apply myself even more from here on out. Even more? Like you aren't walking around with a stun helmet up your butt already. You're gonna get burned out if you keep that up. You gotta learn how to chillax. Be as cool as the other side of the pillow. I never recall asking for life advice from the local moron, Randy, but thank you for spoiling our pleasant conversation. Emotion or not, some things are never gonna change, huh? By the way, where's that gift I bought for your promotion? Aren't you gonna wear it? You know that shiny little thing I picked up at Michelin? Oh, that's right. You were looking at brooches while we were there. Be reasonable, Randy. You should know I can't wear something like that while I'm in uniform. I'm a ranking officer of the TGF. It's too flashy, so I put it away as a keepsake. I mean, I stuffed it away somewhere out of sight because I couldn't stand to look at it. That's right. I bet I just tossed it in the back of my desk or something. You're blushing, Muriel. Cute. Anyway, now that I've been promoted, I plan to devote myself to the CGF more than ever before. I'm going to have to if I want to be at least little useful to the commander. Those two. Crossbell can't ignore the potential threat these mysterious cryptids pose. Unfortunately, due to the political climate, the CGF must focus on our state borders. I'm counting on all of you to spearhead this investigation in our stead. We won't let you down, Commander. I don't know. Can't promise a lot. We kind of let them down at the end of the Western Mirror Trade Conference just a little bit. Just saying. We've got to also... Can't really promise the world. We do have to realize our limitations, correct? We were clearly shown them. That's the issue, isn't it? We were very clearly shown them. Anyway, I may as well go the opposite side and we go to Tangram Gate next. Brum. I think we'll leave the boathouse for the last bit of our patrol, if that's where an enemy awaits. Crossbell is sandwiched between two of the most powerful nations on the continent, the Empire of Erebonia and the Republic of Calvard. Thank you for telling me something we already know, Guardsmen know. In other words, declaring independence is like rolling a red carpet out for them to come invade us. When you think about it like that, what the mayor did was pretty gutsy. An invitation for international conflict. If a cryptid were to harm an Erebonian or Calvardian tourist, the two major powers would never let it slide. In other words, it's directly tied to the tension at our borders. The CGF can't afford to leave the matter alone. We'll be depending on you to make some headway with the investigation. Don't worry, we'll beat them up in the future. We've already bought a few upgrades, despite how expensive they are. They say there have been large mysterious creatures appearing in Crossbell lately. I certainly picked a stressful time to take a trip. How does an armored car fare against a cryptid? When you think about it, I guess it was inevitable that Crossbell would start talking about independence eventually. Unless it starts to affect my business, though, I'll remain a curious onlooker. We finally fixed the radar facility that was destroyed during the trade conference the other day. Those despicable terrorists, just how did they manage to pull that off right under our nose? The more I think about it, the more confusing it gets. That plus the armoured car that showed up in the geofront feels like more than they could have prepared alone. Our suspicions that the society was aiding them may be right on the mirror. That does seem to be the case, though. We never did get irrefutable evidence. There are still so many unknowns surrounding that terrorist attack. Regardless, we're going to need to tighten our security around here. Recently, people from the Republic have been discussing the pros and cons of an independent Crossbell. Unsurprisingly, most are against the idea. With the referendum coming up soon, I can't help but wonder how they'll respond if we do become independent. As a guardsman, of course, I'd like to see it happen, but I know it won't be easy. The patriotic military? Cryptids, huh? What I've heard, they make for some pretty tough opponents. The CGF needs to focus on guarding the border right now, so good luck dealing with them. Yes, all up to me. Something about the guards around here is kind of unsettling. I don't care if they're on high alert or whatever. Would it kill them to be a little more welcoming? They're guards. Lots of stuff has gone down. Hello, Sergeant Major Seeker, visiting with the SSS today? Yes, it's good to see you, Mr. Temas. Sorry for the bother, but we're actually here for a support request. The SSS explained their mission to gather gourmet recommendations. Yes, I do remember hearing about that from the news service. Our specialty here at Tangram Gate is the Tide of Plenty hot pot. You get to eat it as a group. So you serve a mean seafood hot pot here, eh? We'd love to try it. Sure thing, sit tight while I go whip up a pot. Lloyd and the team ate the Tide of Plenty hot pot. This is quite flavoursome. Yeah, you can really taste how fresh the fish is. Yeah, that's the idea. Hot pots are easy and delicious, so we can make them a lot here at Tangram Gate. Eating around a table together always puts the guardsmen in a fun, lively mood too. Now that I think about it, I never had a meal like this with the Testaments before. Maybe I'll bring them here next time I get the chance. For real, you want to take your downtown gang to a border gate to eat hot pot? I think I know who liked this dish the best. Perhaps we should let YZ handle the review for it then. I was hoping to weasel my way out of doing one, but I guess I don't mind that much. Hot pots are easy and delicious, so we make them a lot here at Tangram Gate. Eating around a table together always puts the guardsmen in a fun, lively mood too. So we've got 4 people. Now, 4. The CGF has a lot of irons in the fire thanks to the mounting pressure from the Empire and Republic. So many that some of their duties had to be dumped off on you guys in the Bracer Guild. I suppose we're going to need every side to be flexible enough to help each other out right now. The CGF's so busy that some of their duties had to be bumped off on you guys, yep. Nothing more to say. I don't require your in when I have a car. Psh, go away. With each passing day leading up to the referendum, things just get tenser here. Calvanians generally aren't in favour of Crossbell going independent, as it turns out. I just pray those sentiments don't lead to policy and military action. Those cryptid things remind me of the spirits that appeared in the Moon Temple a while back. It'd be one thing if they just looked scary, but the fact that we hardly know anything about them makes it so much worse. If I ever bumping into a cryptid, Eidos, give me the strength not to pass out again. When we investigated the spirits at the Moon Temple a while ago, I fainted, out cold, just like that. Yep, you were that one. We remember that. Anyway, down we go.